Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. We are on episode 7. If you remember from last time, we set up, right at the end of the video, we set up energetic graphite smelting. And the purpose was, now we can make solar panels, hurrah! The solar panels will come in handy when we start migrating to other planets, which it'll be soon, quite soon, maybe in a couple episodes. Now, the reason why we wanted to get the energetic graphite is because, if you recap, coal is around, coal has 2.7 megajoules, 0% fuel chamber generation. Graphite has 6.75, so double it, plus 50% fuel chamber generation. And the fuel chamber generation has to do with your mecha and how quickly it regenerates power. So energetic graphite is a huge step up, and I'm just going to take all of that, and I'm going to dump, I can't dump too much into here, dump some of this coal in here because we really don't need coal anymore because we have the energetic graphite. Speaking of that, I might as well try to dump, how do we do that? Like that. Try to get rid of some more of this coal because honestly we don't need it. In this instance, we don't need it. I guess there we go. Got rid of all of it. Now we can just dump the rest of that in there, and then we are going to be right as rain. Now, we left off here making an energetic graphite because we were going to set up a whole new power station. Now, we're okay for that at the moment. What I want to do in this episode is actually, do we have any? Oh, we do. We have 68. So I like to, you hit the plus or minus on your number lock, your number pad, and this, you can go all the way up to a 10 by 10. I like to keep it at 5 by 5 in the beginning because that's still 25 tiles, 25 clicks, or 25 per click. So that's 25, roughly 25, and then I'll put some here, and now we are out. This is just saying I had an achievement. Because what I want to do here, this is only putting on one side, and if you remember, this is a 2-to-1, not 1-to-1. So it's a 2 seconds. So each one of these groups, this one will produce 3, and this one will produce 3. So I want to get the rest of this set up, and then we can kind of take a look around to see what we want to do. And now, since we're only going to be, I don't have to pack the miners in here as long as they're on 6 each, and I'm definitely going to run out of belts. So we're going to have to take a little trip back. We might be okay. That's a bit janky itself. But hey, in the beginning like this, I don't mind spaghetti. And as you'll see later on, I don't really mind it. I don't really mind it anyway. Now we're going to end up having 2, 4, 6, 8. Or sorry, 2... or whatever. It'll fill the belt. That's what I'm getting at. And this will eventually start saturating, and this will be saturated, and then we'll be good. And we're pumping this out like crazy. I don't need to take any more. My mech is full. And yeah, there we go. So because we researched solar power, we actually get one. So I'll show you what they look like. The neat things with solar panels is they will turn towards the sun. So as the sun starts coming up, and it's hard to see. You can see it's going very slowly. As the sun comes over the horizon or goes behind the horizon, this will turn. It'll eventually go vertical, and then it'll face this way. And it turns. You see how it's turning towards the sun. If we'd stay here long enough, you would see this continually turn based on the sun being up there. And eventually it will get straight overhead. But we're not going to sit there and watch that. But solar panels do put out, we actually have a bonus. We don't have a bonus. We are under, hold on a second. What does it say for solar energy? We're at 98%, right? So intensity is 98%, so we're slightly under. I believe one solar panel at 100% can do 360 kilowatts. So it's a little bit better than the wind turbines, which are only 300. And you can place these a lot closer together. Now, the only downside with these is obviously you need the sun. On that tidally locked planet that we spoke about before, that's no problem, because there's a side that's always facing the sun. So that's a great place. Even if you're at a slight deficit for solar power, even if you're at like 85 or 90%, it's still good to use that because it's basically a passive source of power that will never go out. It'll never go away. Okay, so what do we have to go over? We have our hub, we have blue science, which we're still working on. It looks like it's chugging away okay. Everything's saturated. We're good to go. We got the energetic graphite. Now, you must be thinking, when are we going to get off planet? When are we going to do something more fun than just this spaghetti mess? Well, let's look in our inventory for now and see what we can make. The next step that we're going to eventually get to is, well, going to be very soon, which is going to be red cubes, which I believe are called, what are red cubes called? I just call them red cubes. Energy matrix. Now, to make red cubes, we'll go back into here. You need graphite, which we have, no problem, and you need hydrogen. Hydrogen is the next thing that we need. While we're in here, let's see what else we can research with just green. We can do plastics, which we don't need yet. These we don't need yet. Processors we will eventually start needing. And this is kind of where you end up sciencing yourself ahead of where you actually are, based on kind of like the tech you're at. These I can start to make. I think most of these other ones that I'm going to queue up. This I can do right now, and that one I think I can. Okay, and I think can we do one of these? Nope. And this one, nope. And the rest we're tapped out. We need yellow. So basically, we are researching all the science that we can up until red cubes. Our power's hurting. So actually, you know what? I think what we should do this episode is we should go up to this energetic graphite. Where are we doing that? We're doing that. Let's check our little map. So once you start doing too much stuff, you kind of forget where everything else is at. And what can I see? Oh, it's over there, all the way over there. So let's fly over there. And let's set up some more thermal generators, because as we keep building and you start using oil extractors and using, there we go, red cubes. Oil extractors and refineries, you really start pumping through the power. So actually I need some belts. Silly me, I should have gotten some belts. Alright, let's fly back. These are hurting. Eventually this is going to run out of resources, which is okay, because I hope by then we can kind of advance a little bit past where we're at. We need some more smelters. We don't need more. I'm just going to take a couple half stacks. These we have inserters. Let's see, do we have any inserters? We do. And do we have power stations? We do. And we have lots of belt. We have 1200 belt. So these power stations are good, but you see how fast the coal is going through it, and we're like around 80%. I want to change that. And this is just, again, a bit of a thrown together thing, but again, it doesn't matter, does it? No, not at all for this type of setup that we're doing. We're just going to pull that off of that, drag this down, and let's set up a bunch of power. Now, ratios as far as how many of these you can put on a belt, I don't really know, to be honest with you, and that one I shouldn't put that close. I don't exactly know. When I do stuff like this, I'm not like crazy accurate with ratios at this level. We'll do 2, and we'll go into 1, and then let's see how many we can fit. We'll do 4 here. Hopefully that water isn't in our way. Nope, we are fine, and I think we can actually do a few more while we're here. Let's see if we can put another 2 rows. Now, I don't think we can fit. Oops, that's the wrong spot. I don't think we can fit 2 in here. No, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm just going to dump that, and as soon as that creates that belt, you can place the other inserter. These should place by themselves without me doing anything with them. And then over here, again, we're just gonna, I'm also out of power, which doesn't help. So as I said, what do you do when you're out of power? You plop down. I only have 2 of these right now. Can I make some more of these? I can make 2. I like to have like 3 or 4, because it really makes your power generation go up. But look at that. We're just barely satisfying. Once these all kick on, we'll be producing a lot more. We're at 36.2 megawatt generation. Now we're up to 38. I assume we're going to be up to 42, etc., etc. And now we are fully powered up again. Okay, so I'm actually going to upgrade. I can't. Never mind. I was going to say I'm going to upgrade, but we can make a couple. That's the next thing I start making is these electric motors. I'm going to need that for one of these other researches. But it's not a big deal. I just want to upgrade these. There we go. Now we can get a little bit more of these in, because since these are at yellow, that means they're full. They're full, I guess you call it. Your product's stacked full. So by having an extra fast inserter, it'll drain these, and then they'll get back to doing the perfect amounts. And I think actually we can add one more, and that actually one will actually make up for this one. So we added 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. These two would be 12. So 12 times 2.1 would be what? 24 point something. So 25 megawatts of power. Now look at that. We're at around 40% capacity, which is good. Because the next thing I want to do is I want to set up a bit of glass making. Not a lot, just one row of glass making, and I should also do the same for silicon, because we are going to start needing that. Because for water pumps, you actually you don't need any for them. Oh, for here you do. You need glass for these. So again, this is just real makeshift type stuff. Makeshift doesn't sound like a good word, but this is just temporary, I guess maybe is a better word. And to make glass is a 2 to 1, or a 2 to 2, but a 2 to 1, 2 seconds per one. So again, we can fly over here. This is where using the blueprint system really works. Now you may say, well, we're not making graphite. No, we're not. If you hit Control C, brings up, sorry if that's too loud for you guys. I'm gonna actually grab that, and you grab it, and you drag it, and then you click, drag, and then click again, and then you can save it as a blueprint. Or I just want to use it now, and I want to come all the way over here, and let's see. Oh shoot, I actually can't do it. I have 102 facilities, and I think I can only do 60 at a time. Well, we learned something new today. Well, not learn it. I knew that I wouldn't be able to do it. I think that's why I didn't want to research it in the beginning. I think I can do 60. All right, is that what it is? 60 facilities. This is the one that's 150, and this is the good one at 600, which we're not anywhere near that. Okay, well, guess what? We will make it by hand, which, again, it doesn't really take that long. It takes longer because I'm trying to explain it to you guys, kind of how I do it in a sense, but it's not actually that bad. Okay, we're just going to drag it in like that, and then I know I'm on top of this copper patch here, but I don't really have a big intent to use that copper patch, so this actually should not go like that. I can go to here. I don't plan to use that copper patch. I just don't. Oops, I keep clicking wrong. There we go. That's going to go down to here, and then this one is going to come across, because I actually just have to set up two more miners. And we'll drag that across like that. Let me get the power hooked up. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes if you click too quickly for certain things, it won't actually place them correctly. So you've got to be a little careful. That power pole is probably going to be in the way, which is fine. And then here we're going to pick glass, and let's set up our inserters like that. And then we get one in, and then we just click them down. And then over here we have to do it separately because the output is going to be on the left hand side. Oh, that one I can't place completely. All right, chemical. Once you start getting sulfuric acid and stuff like that, it gets really complicated and really frustrating in a sense as well. But hey, we're going to do it together. All right, we got glass. I didn't select glass for this one for some odd reason. Oops, and there. Okay, perfect. We are good to go with this. We just need to get the power hooked up, and we need to get a couple more miners going. And again, on something like this, you don't have to get every single, thing occupied by more than one, but you want to have at least one. You want to have every node at least being pulled on by one miner, because if you don't, you're going to end up with one little chunk left. Like right now we have these 4 that aren't being pulled from it, so I think I might actually just dump one here. It's going to be overkill, but instead of having one node left in the end, again, I don't know how long this setup will even stay here, but point being, get that done. And do we have any glass? We do, except I don't have any inserters. keep calling them inserters. They're called sorters. Guess it's just kind of from Factorio, right? You want to call them sorters. Can I do it 3? No, I can't. So the first glass is coming in. Let me just help this out and take a bunch of this. And because we need glass to make some of the other things, all the things in the stuffs, as heard someone say in the past. Anyway, let's start looking at red chips, or red science, which we're going to be at that quite soon, actually. It needs graphite, which we have, and we need hydrogen, which we do not have. And if it looks like we are out of power again, our mech is out of power, so let's just dump these 4. It doesn't matter really where they go, as long as you're within a few tiles. You'll notice if they're working because it'll show electricity. If you're out of it, it won't show electricity. And we're already fueled up completely, just like that. Now, because we have our, where are we at? Because we have our graphite over here, I'd like to be able to find, I don't see, let's land. Let's look where our oil is. Do we have any oil anywhere that's not crazy out of the way? So we do have oil over here, which is okay. And we don't have any coal over here. So we're either going to have to bust the oil in, or we're going to have to bust, that's nice, the hydrogen in, which, you know, again, this is where having these here is actually a good thing. So we have this one at 3.1 and we have this one at 2.62. Those combined will be about 5.8 or 5.9. So it was close enough to 6 because you want to try to saturate a belt. But again, for preliminary stuff like this, I don't worry that much about saturating anything. So I think what probably makes sense is we have the graphite over there. And it'd be nice to find another coal vein. We have coal there, so I might actually set up another graphite smelting here and belt it up, and then do our red science here, and then belt it over, and then redo this science a bit. So let's do that. So what we got to make is we got to gather 2 oil extractors, and I can't make any because I need some stone bricks. Wow, this copper node is really draining down. Stone bricks, we are fine. I'll take a couple stacks. So oil extractors, we need 2 because we only are going to pull from 2 nodes. And then the oil refineries, they're on, I'm trying to think how it works. So I think I want to make 8 of those, and I need, oops, sorry, more of these, and we need more glass, I'm guessing. So let's go up to where we are making the glass, which I believe, see, when you start getting so much stuff, you forget about where you have things. Graphite's over there. Oh, glass is right here. Okay. Because we're going to need a few more. Can I grab this yet? A few more things of glass. Now, of course, my inventory is getting, I'm going to make 4 more. I think that should be good. And we also have to make some storage containers. I'll make 3 of those. And then I think everything else we are going to be good with. We have belts, we have inserters. We don't need assemblers for this. Matrices, we will need more matrix slabs. Can we make any of those? We can make 6, and then we need more iron, which, guess what? Iron is not hard to find because we have a whole chest of it right here. If I remember correctly, let's grab a few more, and let's make a bunch. Well, I'm not sure exactly how many we're going to need, but let's just do it like that. Okay. So what we decided on, I guess, right, is we have an oil seep here, and we have an oil seep there. That's actually not the ones that I wanted to pull from, but actually, let's look at our map. Our science lab is all the way over there. Okay, yeah, so we don't want to. We can pull from that one, which would be okay. But let's continue on. And we are out of power. It's so crazy early on how quickly your mech runs out of power, but you hook the juice up to it. All right, our refineries are made. Perfect. And look how quickly this recovers, and we're doing okay on power right now. I always take them with me because until you eventually have a setup where you have dedicated areas, recharging stations, there's no point. You just bring it with you. All right, gathering. Let's see. So we want to try to put our, this takes quite a bit of space. I think we're going to put our refineries right here so we can just dump those going that way. And then what I always like to do we have any available? We do. So I'm going to some people don't do this, but I always like having buffers for various things. These are called liquid storage tanks, which hold, like you can put oil and you can put liquid products into a chest, but the compression rate or ratio, whatever, is very, can we reach in one? No, is very poor. Because I believe a storage chest can hold 30 slots. This can hold a 10,000 capacity, which I think is a 10,000 slot. It would be. Anyway, these just have to finish crafting, and I think because we're going to be hanging out here for a little while, I want to dump my recharge ports down just to get a bit more, because we have to wait. Because I'm also doing stuff with the replicator, making all the refineries, which does take a little bit of time. But the way refineries work, let me just put one down just to show you. Do we have? Oh, we actually have 5. So I'm going to put this. I think I'm just going to start it over here. Now, with refineries, you eventually will have 2 recipes here. You might actually have more different. This would be, I think, cracking. Basically, all we can do now is plasma refining, which basically, if you look at the little tooltip, it takes 2 crude oil, and it turns it into 2 light oil, or maybe I think it's actually called refined oil. Turned it into refined oil and turns it into hydrogen. Now, right now, the refined oil does nothing for us. We have no use for that right now. You could burn it as fuel if you have tons of excess, but I find that you will end up running out. Maybe not for a while, but you will. Oops. I can go into this more depth. This is your kind of achievement board another time. So anyway, I'm going to set this thing here. So basically it takes in 2 and it spits out 3, and it's on a 4-second timer. So if you have 4 machines, you're going to be producing 3 per second of return. The input's irrelevant because it's less. And then if you have 8 machines, you're going to be producing 6 in total. So the way I actually like doing this is I'll run 6. Can I squeeze one more here? 6 down. Because if you look at it now, this is using 2 per 4 seconds. So if I have 4 of them, I'm only using 2 per second. Or if I have 8, I'm using 4 per second. And because a belt can hold 6 per second, you can run 12 machines. Oh, actually, I can't because I don't have that many. I don't have that many. Am I still making some? I need to make 4 more of these. There. Yeah, anyway. And dumping it out to the outside will be fine, because 4 machines will be 3 per second, and if you have 6 machines, it'll be 5, or, well, I guess it'd be like 5.5 or whatever, 4.5 per second, so it's fine. I think you can actually put more than this on a belt, but anyway, I digress. The way these are set up is you have an input. Oh, I'll have to put the input here. And then you actually have 2 output items. Now, it doesn't, these are going to be in the way. It doesn't matter. Some people split the belts because when you're pulling items off of something that splits out 2 things, by hitting the tab key, you can see it cycles through what it's pulling out. If you have it filtered as none, it'll just spit out everything, and it doesn't, which is the way I do it. And then because there's a neat trick, you can either sort, so in a sense you can sort it from the machine, or you can just sort it afterwards. And there's only one side to sorting it afterwards. Oh, this is going to have to go. Oh well, I can just put it. I can put it here to charge my mech. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by sorting it when I get. I'm going to just put one more here, so I can put this belt on here. Hopefully that doesn't throw on an inserter. Okay, it doesn't. Good. And I'll just. Okay, never mind. This I have to do this a different way. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it's going to spit out items on both sides, and they're going to be mixed. So all you do is you come in here, and you put in a sorter. Now the sorter I'm going to put here, and actually set this up a little bit differently. Because you have 2 inputs coming in the sorter, right? And you're going to have, the inputs are going to be mixed, but they're all both coming in. So you're going to put one way, you're going to put one the other way. Because we're not going to be messing with light oil or the refined oil yet, I'm going to dump that over here. So what it is, you pull up your storage, and you can stack them 2 high to start with. And you go in here, you have a bunch of options. You have input priority, and you have filtered output priority. Now, I'm not really looking for output priority in a sense, but you click it and you click it again, and you can choose your refined oil, which means no matter what comes in these two inputs, the only thing that's going to come out of this input is going to be refined oil. And the only thing that's going to come out of this output, I guess you would call it, is going to be hydrogen. Which the hydrogen, I only have one of these made, because you're going to end up not really stored much, because it's all going to go into science, which funny enough is right here. So we're not going to have time to get science completely set up today, or I should say the red stuff set up today at all. We're already at 20 some minutes, but I would like to at least get, hope I didn't screw this up. Can I sneak a power pole in here? Okay. So off camera, actually, no, I'm just going to leave it. It's fine. It's not a huge deal. It just means I have to run power poles a lot more frequently, which I rather wouldn't. If you leave space in between these, you end up you can sneak power poles in between them. This is going to have to go away. Instead of having to put them on the outside, you can put them in here. But again, for space reasons, we'll just leave it like this. I'm not too worried, and we can get the rest of those on there. Now this one here, let's just finish this up before we call it a day. The input is working on this one, so let's do that. Drag that down. Now here, this one is going to go to here, and then this one is going to be coming from oil, which we already are making. Let's just get these refineries. I just want to get them up and running to show you what they look like. They look pretty cool when they start spinning. Let's go to the other side. It looks looks kind of neater, more neat. Okay. Oh, actually, we gotta wait for the bots to make everything to connect the belts, because we already are stacking up to about 1,800 crude oil, which is good. Now to extract something from a storage tank is you just hold down left click. Oh, look, there we go. We have our first oil going in, and these are going to turn on, and I think these look really cool. Look at that. And I'm not sure if you can hear the sound. They have that kind of like a humming whirly sound, which I think is really cool. And you can see it's spitting out, every cycle it spits out 2 refined oil and it spits out 1 hydrogen, which again is just denoted by these placeholder blocks. I'm hoping as this game is developed, pipes are introduced. I think that would be really cool. And here we go. We're dumping the I keep calling it light oil, refined oil into this thing, and this one is getting the hydrogen. As you see, this is working perfect. This is not quite saturated yet. Oh, I know why. Because I'm not producing a full 6 per second off of this, because it's less than 6. But again, it's fine. Like it's not a huge deal. These eventually will make its way down here, and there you go. Pretty cool. This can get backed up a little bit because we're using these type of belts, because you're actually taking 4, squeezing it through here into here. But to get your basic oil set up, I have no problem doing this. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Again, we're not looking at efficiency yet. We're just looking at getting it up and running. So that's oil refining. Next episode, we're going to bring our graphite over. We're going to get red science set up. And then we're going to see what type of science we want, or what type of tech we want to start unlocking, because we opened up to a whole probably dozen more things, lots more upgrades we can do. And then we might take a trip off planet. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.